Hey guys, welcome to beautiful Mount Valin. This is the first time we've been out here, and look, tons of snow everywhere. Absolutely beautiful, and we're doing some stellar riding up here on our new sleds. And today our focus is going to be on the 2024 900 Turbo XRS. We got this beautiful sled in hyper silver with the red Spartan accents, and wanted to just kind of take you guys through a bit of an initial thoughts video today. We're going to get it out on the trail, do some riding with it. First impressions, we'll bring you a little bit of information about the sled, what's new for this year, what are we noticing that might be a little bit different from past models. As you know, we had the Mach Z before in the Gen 4 chassis. Now we're into this 900 with the new Gen 5. It looks pretty beautiful on the snow, and we've had a chance to put about 500K on it so far, and so far so good, really impressed. And we'll just talk a little bit about some of the different things that we've done to it, and again, just give you guys a bit of an initial impression for what we think about the sled. All right, well, welcome to the cockpit of the new 24 900R. Yeah, so far so good. This is a beautiful sled, a really awesome trail sled for sure. And you guys know that we had a Mach for a while, and you know, while it wasn't sort of the Mach Z as far as I was hoping it was going to be, I still love the motor. The 4-stroke motors are great. Gas and go type sled, you really don't need to do much. And this new 900R in the G5 chassis is an excellent trail sled. So I thought I'd give you guys just some initial thoughts on the sled. And it looks a little bit slimmer and feels a little bit slimmer when you're riding it, which I quite like, even though the bottom end is really the same. They've sort of just trimmed the top part of the sled a little bit so that it kind of feels a bit narrower. So I love the look of the G5 overall. I think it's a much nicer looking sled than it was in the previous G4. I absolutely love the Smart Shocks. You guys know we've been big fans of the Smart Shocks since they came out, and they just work really well. They suck up the bumps, and I just love the ability to being able to shift how much you want them to work on the fly. And you know, you get over a section that's really bumpy and you want to stiffen it up a bit and maybe go a little faster over the stutters. They really just work so well. I think the sled out of the box, it handles so well, and you know, from probably previous videos if you've watched, I tend to just keep them stock for my first couple of rides of the season before I start changing things too much. But right now I haven't touched the carbides yet. I'm running the stock carbides, and it's just primarily because early season conditions up here, some sections of trail weren't great. So even out of the box, honestly, the stock carbides that these things come with for your average rider is going to be just fine. And then obviously once we get into better conditions, I'll put my 6-inch Bergstroms on and give it a go. See how those go with this 900R. The power on this thing is just unbelievable once the turbo spools and it picks up. Incredible. This kind of reminds me of like a Porsche on snow is really what it's like. It's so refined. The motor sounds so cool. So I'm running it in sport mode, which is the middle setting for the Smart Shocks. I seem to find that works the best for me. I don't like it in super stiff mode in the Sport Plus. So even in comfort mode and you know, some of the kind of smoother trails, you can run it in comfort mode even, and it's fine. You get a little bit of that snow flap dragging, but it's okay. Just kind of works to keep the snow up in the tunnel and keep it cool. So they got a new 4-piston brake caliber this year. I don't notice too much difference while riding it, to be honest. I know that was kind of an upgrade that they made this year on a lot of the sleds. I don't, again, really notice it to be that much different, but what I do notice is the brake lever. That's a really nice feature. It's fully adjustable now, which I think is really cool. Now I did mess around with it a little bit, and I noticed that when you have it closer to the bars, it's not as good because There seems to be a little bit more play in the brake, so I don't know if maybe it just needs to be bled a little bit more so that it's a bit shorter distance for actually engaging. So I've got it actually set furthest away from the bars right now, and kind of like it. The shape's a little bit different than the previous brake, so I like it. Seems to work good. Got my Garmin set up front here on the glove box extension, which is a nice feature, obviously, so we know where we're going at all times. We never lose cell reception. We've had a lot of guys ask us, you know, well, why are you guys running the Garmins and not just using the big display for the BRP Go app? And frankly, it's just because the reliability of that app, it's not there yet. And it's just not as reliable as having a Garmin device that's always going to have satellite signal. I definitely prefer to run this sled in sport mode. I'd still do find, and again, I know a lot of guys are probably going to harp and hum and haw, but you know, these turbos do have delay. That's our experience. That's what we find with them. They've got a bit of delay. It's not as snappy as our 850s, so no different with the 24. It's kind of the same thing. And hopefully Chris from Ledger Performance is going to help us with this thing a little bit, get a little bit more performance out of it, and see if we can help to eliminate some of that throttle lag. Man, she sounds so cool. So definitely very similar, you know, to previous model 900s. I do feel like this one's actually a little bit lighter up front compared to my Mach was. Our Motion out back is such a great ride. Industry leading for sure. Sucks up the bumps, especially with the Smart Shocks. It just rides so nicely. It's just a really comfortable ride overall. And you'll see I'm running a low windshield setup that it comes with up front. I haven't changed that and don't plan to. I think this gives enough protection. I prefer that the wind actually comes and hits me in the chest versus if I had a higher windshield, like a medium probably, it hits you right in the face, so I don't like that. Nice big 10.25 inch display, which we love. I think Skidoo is really pushing the boundaries with the technology as usual, and I love having this nice big display that I've got it on auto adjust, so it'll adjust from a white background setting during the day to the darker setting at night, and you can really see everything. You just quickly glance down, you can see your speed, RPMs. I've got my suspension settings on there right now. You can glance down and see your fuel and your engine temperature as well. So I'm not going to do any kind of you know, comparisons to the 850. You know, I'm happy to be on the 4-stroke, and I really am very fortunate enough that I got to run both this year again, which is pretty cool. And I really hope that that helps with, you know, there's the 4-stroke crowd, and there's a lot of guys I know that watch the channel that are touring and running the 4-strokes. So hopefully, you know, we'll bring you guys some good content that will help you make some adjustments or some decisions on certain things for your 900R. So it's nice to be able to be running a Turbo R this year again. Love the fact that, you know, you don't have to carry oil. So for any of the saddlebagging trips, it's really the ultimate solution. You don't have to carry the extra weight and the extra oil around, or you don't have to be looking for oil in town. Everywhere you stop, it's a really nice bonus for running 4-strokes for sure. Man, is she pretty. Absolutely gorgeous looking sled on snow. I love the Hyper Silver. I'm happy I didn't go black. I know most people are always buying the black ones. Got the LED handguards on it, and we haven't really messed around with it too much, but these are the ones that you know, help to notify oncoming riders that you're the last rider, and it's you know, green if it's clear behind you, depending on if you're at front or in the back. I think that's a pretty neat feature. Sled absolutely rips. I mean, these things really move. I'll shut her down there and wait for Jesse. Lots of traction out back. You can hear right now, actually, that's one difference this year. So you can hear they've added that fan, so as it gets hot under there, the fan starts moving the air out, especially when it's sitting. So that's quite a nice feature. Sounds like a jet engine or a jet plane. That's pretty cool. So traction out back, so far so good. This is great setup that Chris from Ledger Performance recommended for me. 96 studs. We're running 1.575s on it out back. Hooks really well. In fact, this hooks better than my mock did, and it has less studs. The mock had 144 studs, whereas this one's got just 96 in them with those new Performance Stud Star backers. They seem to be fantastic. Kind of hard to tell today just because it's very mild out, and you know, you're not going to get really good traction today in kind of the loose snow, but had it on hard pack yesterday, and it really does work really well. Gently will lift up those skis and set them down, which is a lot of fun when you hit the crests. Just a great looking sled. Can't wait to do some touring with it and get some more miles on it. You can see my setup today. This is kind of my day ride setup. That tail seat bag, the 11 liter, fits nicely on there. Pushes in the seat a little bit in the back, but not a big deal. At least you can run it. And then, you know, everybody always asks us, can you run the Trail Pro bag with the gas caddy? That's been our standard setup for like the last 3-4 years. Works great. You can see we've got our new Sledaddicz knee pad, premium knee pad kit that we came out with this year. They look fantastic, provide lots of good protection for your knees when you're riding up on the tank aggressively. And overall looks beautiful. I'm going to do a quick chain case adjustment shortly. It's probably about time I just check the tension on it, make sure that it's okay. And once we get a couple of goodies from Chris, I think it's going to be even better. So excited to work with him on it. We're going to do probably a tune for it. An MCX Express 210 kit is what he's got for us, as well as his clutching to dial this thing in. And I think it'll be even better. My only gripe, and that's all we've ever said with these things, is just that throttle. It takes some getting used to. And if you don't get used to it, you can get in trouble real quick because it just has that little bit of hesitation before it takes off. Other than that, absolutely stellar sled. Can't wait to load up the miles on it. Hope you guys enjoy this video for the first impressions video. Well, here comes Jess the man on his new 850.
Unbelievable. Oh, that was great.